Good afternoon. Welcome to Sports Palava Live. My name is Ken Ochonogo, and we are looking at who tinkers the Super Eagles, who takes care of the team. We have a coach now, but he's the caretaker coach because his contract expired at the end of the World Cup, and because of probably the house that we have, or the house we had before the World Cup, they couldn't sit down with him to ascertain if they could renew his contract. So Stephen Okechukwu Keshi, the man who won the Nations Cup for us last year and also took us to the World Cup, has been working on match-by-match basis, an ad hoc coach and interim coach, because for now, he doesn't have a contract. In 3 days' time, we shall be riding in Sudan. The match has been taken to Khartoum to play Sudan, but yet he has no contract. He comes in, picks the players, coaches, and expect that probably his results at this interim period will make the FA either renew his contract or give him another one. But somewhere along the while we are doing all this, the man who was there before him, Samson Yaibowe Siasia, says, I have an unfinished business there, and I am ready to coach the Super Eagles again. So we look at you and we ask the simple question. Now that we don't know which 2 FA body or one who was there, but when eventually it is resolved on who governs Nigerian football, who would you expect them to pick to be the coach of the senior national team? Will you expect them to renew Keshi's contract? Or for them to say, okay, Siasia, come back, probably your second term will be a better one. Both of them were part of the team that won the Nations Cup for us in '94. Both of them took us to the World Cup in the very first time. Keshi as captain, Siasia as striker. Both of them played, actually, in Benin City. Keshi with New Nigerian Bank, Siasia with Flash Flamingos. Both of them played in Belgium, but they were in Lokeren. Both of them played in Lokeren. Then Keshi moved to Anderlecht, while they also moved to France. While Siasia played for Nantes, Keshi played for Strasbourg. So there is a history between these two coaches. They were also trained in America. Both of them were American trained coaches. And I tell you this also, why Keshi coached the under-21 in 2001, Siasia did that in 2005. Both of them were also assistant coaches of the national team. Now, that is all you have. That is the similarities. What of that differences? The result when they took up, their respective Super Eagles. Siasia actually didn't qualify us, but remember at the junior level, he had better results than Keshi, because the Keshi team did not win the African Championship, while Siasia won the African Championship and went to play in the final, in Holland against the Argentine team that contained Lionel Messi. He also took the under-23 team to the finals also in Beijing. So you look at their credentials, look at their history, and look at what is on ground. If you are to pick between both of them, who will you give the nod? Will you say, Keshi, take it? Or will you say, Siasia, come back for come and complete that unfinished business? I'm starting with my right-hand side. Not as if the left is bad, but I'm starting from the right. Theophilus Agbonlao. Theo, how are you?
I'm good. Good afternoon, Ken.
And where are you pitching your tent?
Of course, it's Siasia.
Why?
Samson Siasia. He has done it before. Siasia has pedigree. Siasia has proven that he can get results. And most importantly, his style of football. We've seen Siasia play, and I've been very impressive. We saw him with the team in Holland when they lost to Argentina in that final. But we saw the way that team played, and they were very, very impressive. We saw the under-23 team play at the Olympics in Beijing. Super impressive also. They made it all the way to the final before Antonio Di Maria chip ended our hopes of picking up that trophy. But he, of course, he failed to qualify the national team for the Nations Cup in 2012. But let's not forget that the damage had been done by the coach that he actually took over from. That's Austin Egbafon. Siasia never lost a match against African opposition while he was there. Fine draws along the way and all. But he has shown that he can get results, and he can get the Super Eagles to play fine and interesting football, which I think at this point is what we need at the moment, because the morale is dull with the national team right now.
Fine. He can play fine and interesting football. The morale is down, and we need Siasia to lift it. But he shook his head while Theo was talking. Julian, how are you?
Good afternoon, I'm fine.
Yeah. You had him?
Yes, I heard what he said. I'm pitching my tent with Keshi.
Yeah.
Today, tomorrow, next tomorrow, I'll pitch my tent with Keshi. And the record is there for everyone to see. I mean, the gulf between Siasia and Keshi is just like, from here to a very far distance. I mean, look at their record. Look at what they've been able to achieve. If the record for Keshi is there for everyone to see. He's the current best coach as far as the African football is concerned. In 2012, Keshi was rated the 90th best coach in the world. 2 years after, this ranking I'm telling you is as of last month, September, Keshi is rated the 14th best coach in the world. Where is Samson Siasia? Keshi has won the Nations Cup. He's the only living man to have won the Nations Cup as a coach and as a player. He's the only black Nigerian coach that's qualified an African team to the round of 16 of the World Cup. Siasia took the home-based lad to Chan in 2011. He failed woefully. Niger Republic knocked us out of that championship. After missing out to the first edition in Ivory Coast, you missed out the second one in Sudan. What do you know? Keshi came back, took charge of the home-based lads, qualified us for our first ever Chan. Not only qualification, we went all the way to winning the bronze medal in that tournament. So the gulf between Keshi and Siasia is just too wide. And if you ask me, I'll keep saying it. Keshi is the man to lead the Super Eagles. I can comfortably tell you at this point in time, our starting 11, the team that started against Sudan, is all boils down to Keshi. We now have a team. Gone are those days whereby we'll say our coaches come out and say it's a rebuilding process, Keshi now knows he can look at the spam and count those. That starting 11.
I beg to differ on that.
And we've always seen that in the past. Okay, can you mention Nigeria's starting level under Sam Siasia? I'm listening to you.
That was a while back. When I'm talking about
that was 2011. I'm listening to you.
Stephen Keshi always bringing in new players. Let's forget that.
You players classified I mentioned one of those players, Sunday Mba.
Please, get Sunday Mba right now.
What's your Babuna?
Yes, Sunday Mba. Yes, Sunday Mba right now.
I mentioned them for you.
Yes, Sunday Mba right now. Let's not forget that John Mitelobin, as a core member of this Keshi team, was discovered under Samson Siasia.
How many players did Samson Siasia discover? How many players?
It doesn't really matter.
I've mentioned more than 5 players that
don't tell me. You can't come back and tell me now that Siasia doesn't have any record yet.
Since 2012, which club has he been coaching?
It doesn't really matter. This one has come out to tell us that he has unfinished business with the national team.
Okay, he has a question. I want that question answered. Since Siasia finished coaching the national team, where has he coached?
He has been flying under the radar.
So he hasn't got a job since then. He has been jobless.
He's like Di Matteo.
So that
Di Matteo is like
Di Matteo. He doesn't make him a bad coach.
He's like Di Matteo that was sacked by Chelsea.
He doesn't make him a bad coach.
That his jobless doesn't make him a bad coach.
If he doesn't get the job since 2012.
He could have been acquiring more of what we know. Maybe he's probably not coaching, but probably taking courses. We can see this guy been flying under the radar. Now he has come out and openly said that he wants the job back. He has to finish with this team.
Must he coach the Super Eagles of Nigeria? Stephen Keshi has coached Mali.
His last 10 matches, he has picked up just one victory. In his last 10 matches, this man has picked up just one victory.
Keshi having a bad run.
Just one victory.
Keshi lost his first game as Nigerian coach last year.
Just one victory. Now you're telling me he's the only black player to have done this. 15 best coach in the world.
Yes, I'll tell you.
At this rate, we might not even make it to the Nations Cup in Morocco.
It shows that since 2011.
The competition he won last year, he might not be able to defend it.
He said the damage had already been done against in 2012 when we were qualifying for the Nations Cup. The only game Eguavon lost was the game against Guinea. Siasia still had the opportunity of salvaging Nigeria's qualification to Equatorial Guinea and Gabon. Had we beaten Guinea in Abuja, would have qualified. Do you know?
He didn't lose.
But he did not qualify us.
Things worked out against him.
He did not qualify us.
Things worked out against him.
How? If he had beaten
Guinea, he would have qualified.
Would he have qualified?
Yes, he would.
So he dropped 2 points.
So
why blaming Eguavon for
and it was stipulated in his contract that if he does not qualify Nigeria for the Nations Cup, he will get sacked. And he did not qualify for the Nations Cup.
That was in his contract.
That's the clause in his contract.
That he was going to make it to the semi-finals.
No,
this man has not qualified. Chance to go all the way.
Gentlemen, I want to start with you. Much has been said that Keshi's man management style of late has not been okay, and people correctly point to his handling of the Ikeuche something. Don't know that is a drop back for him to say we have a player who people are saying he's doing well in his club and he can't call him to the national team.
Even without all these players, have Keshi not been getting the results?
Has he not been getting all these results?
But at the moment, you're not getting results.
He has been getting the results.
In Calabar, we went to South Africa and picked up a draw. You're on the verge of not qualifying for the Nations Cup.
How about Egypt? Has Egypt lost their first 2 games and the qualifiers?
Time for us to come to you. I hope so that you can be part of this. Join the debate. Do you want us to go back to Siasia, or do you want us to retain Stephen Okechukwu Keshi as the coach of the national team? Both of them have their pluses and their minuses. But let us know your preference while this show is on. The line will be right there. The number will be right there on the screen. So pick up your phone. Tell us Keshi or Siasia? Who coaches the national team? Now,
Okay.
we just talked about that. Man management. We saw Siasia that had a problem with Mikel, with Osaze, with Nyama, with a lot, with a lot of them. So even his own man management, I mean, wasn't you can't say that it was better than Keshi's.
He has come out now to say he has unfinished business with the team.
Okay.
Now, for you to come out and say something like that, it means that you've learned from past mistakes you've made, and you're ready to work on that, work on it, rectify it, and of course get positive results.
Yeah.
At the moment, like you rightfully said, Ikechukwu is banging in goals for Villarreal. I think that was right from last season. But for one reason or the other, best known to Stephen Keshi, has been snubbed by the national team. Bartholomew Martins has scored 17 goals for Seattle Sounders in the MLS.
Obama has scored 17 goals.
And everybody, this same Keshi now is blaming Emmanuel Minike for underperforming the national team. Now you have strikers that are performing, but you don't want to call them back. Maybe you've done in the world where a coach will start blaming his players for results. From what I understand, coaches are responsible for results. Players are responsible for their own performances. But someone Keshi keeps blaming his players.
Everyone was criticizing Sabella for not taking
you didn't answer that question. We talk about the man management of Samson Siasia. I mean, he fought with almost all the key players that was there. I mean, do you think if he has a second chance, if you are endorsing him, how do you think he has changed from that? That he can forgive? Because you're talking about Uche alone, but we have Siasia with about 4 or 5 players that he had the problems with.
Well, I think Samson Siasia, like I rightfully said before, he has learned his lesson. He's coming out now to tell you that I have